Welcome to Beyond the System. This podcast today is just helping to understand a little bit about us, but also the power of choice. So, we've spent a lifetime looking for the truth outside of us, blaming structures, stories that we've been told. These things are at the core of my podcast direction as a whole, and my intentions behind it. But before we can really dismantle any system outside of us, we need to look a little bit closer and look at um, one within us and where are we at in this. So, what are we really? I always thought I was a compilation of my experiences, all the knowledge that I've gained, my jobs that I had. Um, everything that was what made me up. Now, where I am at now in my life is I realize that um, I am who I am. Now, I've heard this along my spiritual walk so often, and I can't say that I understood it fully. I'm like, oh, there must be some weird culty thing called the I am. Kind of there is, but what it is people taking accountability for the way that they are, and we can only change ourselves. So each one is responsible for the best version of themselves, and so understanding myself now that I am as the one that is responsible for who I am at this particular moment. So um, it something and I am not trying to make this a big religious push for any aspect. So please don't hit. Oh, I'm out of here. He's talking about Jesus, but for those that are Christian, it is a statement. Even Jesus had claimed that I am. You can go back. You can do your own research, kind of using text, of your belief system for you to dig and confirm that, and that's something that I encourage. So I also don't want to compare that. Most people that call that person that figure in the Bible is Jesus. My studies, Yeshua. Additionally, other names, which translates to Jesus, but calling on the name of Jesus. If you're sitting in a room and you were your name is Mary and somebody is calling for Maggie, are you gonna actually listen and look like somebody's calling my name? No, that's not your name. So dig deeper. Know who you're calling on when you're calling on the power of something. But in his teachings, it's my understanding that he was trying to make us aware that we are accountable, um, for who we are, to be our choices. Um, you know, um, Yeshua, to me, was the embodiment of love. This is what being the Christ means is doing something in the act of love. So, Christians, again, you were challenged to follow after him, and following something means you are to do as they were doing. So make sure everything we're doing is in love. To me, it's not about being Christian. It's about being a loving person and spreading that and teaching people how to do that. Um, and was that what Christ called for? Yeah, the return of Christ in the Bible as well. To me, is just when we all start to love again. So I'm going to dig deeper on some of that stuff later in my teachings. Some, again, if you're interested in Christianity, great. If you're not, great. But I hope to bring some truths to some of those stories, at least as a perspective that I have understood them. So, but last thing, Christ in olden days, ancient times, they were known as kings, priests, even prophets were called Christ. And prophets in them ages were, I wouldn't say consultants, but they were somebody who was a very few select that could actually tell a king that he was wrong when the system was not correct. It was the responsibility of the Christ to stand up. So again, in alignment with the teachings and things that I will be going. So, um, understanding something that our thoughts, words that we speak, the knowledge that we have, things that we've accomplished, our jobs. That's not who we are. I laugh a little bit. Even in the movie, I didn't understand. How many of you have seen Anger Management? To me, that was I enjoyed that movie. I wouldn't even. I'm dating myself, but I watched it many times. In that movie, and I can't remember who Jack Nicholson was playing, but he had said, "Dave, tell us, who are you?" And he had started to try to well, and no, not what you do, whatever the script was, but the point being is we are not those things. For me, what I understand is we are choices. We are the choices that we make. And we are all given choices, and in those times of moments, I like to refer to them as doorways, because every choice we make is an opportunity to be a different version or something different. If you don't like what you are, pick a door. You can change. Um, so, um, our who we are, a compilation of those choices. I think our morals are kind of a guide to help us in these choices. So, morally, not everybody's equal. We all have different morals, but those should help you along the way to make choices in alignment with you. So, as I said, in the past, I actually would have said that I am my experiences. I the knowledge that I've obtained. I've read a lot. The jobs that I had. I mean, I can't say that I disagreed. Even a year ago, I thought that was even 9 months ago. I would have probably felt that everything I am is because of my experiences up to this point. And although true, I don't discount that's a part of me. But truly, it's the choices that I made that have helped me to come to this point. Now, I want to cover something, and this is kind of sensitive. I don't mean to be um, so deep on such an introduction, but I do believe that there are times that we don't have a choice. Things are done unto us, and some in a very unhealthy way that impact us as humans moving forward. And we need to recognize that, first of all, I believe the universe has an order, and in this order is the ebbs and flows. It's yin yang, and these are the universe's way of correcting, righting the wrongs, if you will, correcting things that were not correct. In the core of my teachings, things that I will bring forth, excuse me, the things that I will bring forth, um, that things done in love that are in alignment within ourselves, in our heart, that is the correct path. That is how we move forward. That is how we become the best version of ourselves. So if we make a choice and it goes against our heart, um, that's probably not the correct thing to do, because you're going to head down. You've chosen a path that probably isn't the right direction, not your soul's purpose, not your path. And typically, what happens when we make them wrong choices? Many of us, I guess, have, man, why do I always have trouble in relationships? Um, if you evaluate all of those things that we have to keep going through, revisit, we have not made the right choice. So life is trying to teach us a lesson that we need to learn, so we don't make that choice again. So, biggest nugget I guess I can give you at that point is when you are given the opportunity for a choice, and you feel in your heart, you feel that little nudge. It kind of is like, we might even say good angel, bad, whatever, the devil on our shoulders that we seen as cartoons as kids. When you feel that, that's acknowledgement that maybe I better think about this. Is this in alignment with who I am aspiring to be? So, and I'm not here to preach all of that to you, but at the end of the day, it is our responsibility to realize that the choice is yours. You are the one that is responsible. Something that um, doesn't sit right with you is a part of your life or going on. It's up to you to make that change. And if it's outside of you, doesn't mean, well, that kid was crying and that mom yelled at, and that's not right. Um, I don't mean this in a bad way, but Karen, mind your business. No, you know what? Some things we are only able to control ourselves. So please, I know I'm not saying don't have um, compassion and love for others. That's going against the teaching. But also, please use that, with reverence to understand when to do it. So, um, understanding that, you are not your thoughts. You're not even the choices that you've made. Those outcomes don't make you. It is. I shouldn't say you're not those choices. You're not the outcome of those choices. It's the time when you make them choices. I want to take a second because this brings me to a point that's not even in kind of my guide here, but it fits well. As a young adult, recently, divorced, trying to be a parent to five children. I had, four of them with me full time, or at that point it was half time, and I was just struggling. I had my ex-wife now. She was present most of the time, and really did a lot of the caring and nurturing, pardon me, for my children. And during that time, I was just like overwhelmed with trying to work, trying to take care of all aspects of being an adult. And I went to my mother for some advice. And thank you, Mom, for everything that you try to teach me and teach me things that you tell me that I don't listen, even though maybe I do listen. I just make other choices. And that's the moral of this is, I had asked her, Mom, what I feel like I'm messing up. I want to do the best version, the best I can for these children because I don't want to fail them. And something she said, and I tell this to so many people, and hopefully this reaches even more now. She said, son, you have to understand that there's only so much that's in your control. All you can do as a parent is do your best to instill morals so that they have the ability to know right from wrong. But you need to understand that even with everything that you can give to them for building that out, that you hopefully prepare them, there's going to be times that they're going to be given a chance to make a choice and they're going to make the wrong one. And all you can do is be there for them in that moment, in love. And that is something that has resonated with me. I maybe it stays in the podcast, maybe it doesn't. But Mom, thank you. And I hope where I don't know where you read it, or actually I think I've talked to her. She's like I don't remember. She didn't recall that, but it's been such a powerful part of me to give me guidance and knowledge. So again, understand the things that we do. If we get out of work and we decide we're going to sit and watch TV for that's your you can do that. It's your time, but it's your choice. So don't be like I should have done. Well, don't blame anything but yourself. You made the choice, and so on and so forth. If we're not who we want to be, if you feel that the version of yourself you no longer like, you're not done. You're not a finished product. I don't care if you're 85 years old. You are a continuous act of creation. Act meaning choices. Do something different. Choose to do something different. Sometimes, and I've said it many times in things, um, not making a choice is making a choice. Sometimes we're given, well, I don't know, and I won't say clothes. We're go to the cupboard or closet. I don't want to. I want to wear this one. This one. I don't not wear clothes. Please put on clothes. But no, there's times that people will, because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or whatever, so they choose not to do something. Well, that's a choice too. You've chosen a route. So please understand, just because you don't want to hurt or whatever, those are choices. So when we move forward, the point being, understanding that it is up to you to choose what's healthy for you, not just in a physical for my body, but for your well-being. um, if things that I start to talk about during this podcast, not this particular one, but the series and things that I continue to break out, um, if it resonates, it's a choice. It's a choice that you have. Don't allow systems that have educated and programmed you or whatever to be that control. Only you know what is best for you. And as I said, if it's an alignment with your heart, I believe truly that is the correct path. Men, and I'll say this, too many men try to be macho men. We live in a world where we've got to have, we got to be, macho. Great. I'm not saying, there's times I find myself, gosh, I better, man up a little bit. I do my best to not fall back into that because I'm sure most people, okay, whatever, Tony. But regardless, it's okay to be a man and to be of love. Understand that, again, that's old world programming, and we have to move away from that. That is the path that we're walking away from. So if you're a man and you're listening to this, hopefully, at whatever point, if you're still following along, do not be afraid to let that show, because you know what? It's a point of inspiring, and not just inspiring peers, people, friends that are, young men or males your age, but your sons, your children, your nephews, your younger cousins. It's not a bad thing, and I challenge you, each and every one of you, to please make a choice. Make a choice to do something loving, that resonates within you, uh, but that takes you from the version that you are to the version that you want to be, if there is differences. So I want to end this with, I in this I am the messenger, and the message today, right now, your life is this message, and it's a time now to stop being a byproduct of the system and start being an architect of your existence. I'd like to again thank you for joining me, and please continue to like and follow and share any of my knowledge and information. We need to make some changes in this world. In love and peace.